Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Indian Gaming Corps Mythic Showdown. Yes, guys, we are back into the Mythic Showdown. It's day number 4 for the Swiss stage, and today is the first match is between Team Maaf Esports versus Team Divine Regime. The both of the OP teams of this Mythic Showdown will be clashing together, and it will be a best of 3 series. In the casting deck, it's your host as TZ, and with me is none other than two of the beautiful casters of India, that is Pitchy and Zivo will be joining with me to entertain you all. Hello, Pitchy. Hello, Zivo. How both of you are doing right now?
Hello, Ash. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. And as to question your answer, I am good and I'm excited to see. What about you, Zero?
Yeah, Peachy. Same. Equally excited with everyone as well. I mean, we're gonna be seeing the top teams in the India currently, right? One of the top teams, Team Maaf and Team Divine Regime, up as well. Although there has been some roster changes. I mean, the teams they still leave quite the impactful appearance on every one of us. So definitely excited for this match currently as well.
Yup, and it's like both of the teams have won their previous matches, and right now they are here. Even Divine Rhythm, they told that they are here for the win. So let's see how it goes. I mean, what's your prediction, guys? Whom you're supporting? Again, I'm not supporting. You can say me your prediction: 2-0 from Divine Rhythm or 2-0 from Maaf Esports.
I'm guessing. I really want that game number 3. Maybe in favor of Divine Regime 2-1.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, certainly my choice as well. 2-1 in the favor of Divine Regime. That is what I will be hoping, hopefully. But yeah, we can't forget about Maaf as well. So even if either of the team wins, it's still a win for everyone here, right?
That's good. That's good. And right now we are here into the draft section. We are into the draft phase, and a lot of bans, a lot of picks will be happening here. What do you think? Pretty same meta bans, pretty same meta picks will be happening, or we gonna see some new comfort things coming on around the scenario right now? What do you think, Bichi?
For Marv, maybe yes. I do believe your mom really tends to play those EXP on his comfort. I mean, we have heard about his Uranus a lot, so maybe one of the 3 games I really want to see if he can. But on to the other hand, I do remember Duga, the tanker for the side of Team Marv. Again, for them it could be that kind of a gameplay, but for Divine Regime, you know who it is. So let's see if even Divine Regime pulls up those kind of a comfort pick.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but right now we can see that Luke is getting banned from the side of Mafi Sports. That's a meta ban. Divine Rhythm maybe preparing for Kimi or Selena. Right nowadays, Selena is a very nice pick in the mid lane as well as the Kimi. But we should not forget about the Bakshia as well. Bakshia is totally OP these days. He's the real flex hero because he can go for the jungle, roam, EXP. Zivo, what do you think of Baksha or Florin? What should be in the ban list? Okay, it's a Hayabusa.
I do think both of them can be equally banned, but Florin it kind of depends on even if both the teams use her or not. But especially, I do think we have to be aware of Raren and his Bashia right now because I think Bashia is his comfort pick, and if he does get the Bashia, then it might just be a banger for start for this first match of the day, right? But the thing is, will Mav go for the Basha ban or will they pick it up as the first pick?
That's a big
Hi.
question right now, obviously, because we all know Moba plays the Basha very nicely, and even the Florin will be helping him a lot because he's a utility jungler player. So, I mean, this is a big question from our viewers as well as from us that will Mark going to take it out or not? Because right now they have only one chance to take one hero out. Will it be a Florin? Will it be a Baksha? So I mean, if they were not going for their Baksha ban, Florin ban, if they're opting the Florin ban, then the Basha will maybe pick from Divine Rhythm or maybe Maaf can go for it. Vici, the Zuxin got banned. Are you sure about it? Because she's not in the meta. Maybe it's a respect to Ray.
Definitely there, but she's really annoying towards those utility kind of a junglers as well as close range hero, especially the EXP laners who dictate the whole match. Again, Maaf, if they have to ban the Baksha right now, the Hayabusa is actually an indicator that the Baksha is something Divine Regime are looking forward for, given the fact that they don't want a hero who can jump into the backlines, but taking a Baksha, trying to give it to Raren could be a very good thing. As of now, Maaf, I feel like they have their eyes on the Matilda rather than the Baksha. For them, the Matilda is really a good pick.
Yep, and with this, we can see that it will be a CC in the ban list. That's a new thing for me because I was not expecting a CC over there. But it's kind of reminding me that maybe Maaf is gonna opt that high loss pick into their side for the EXP, as we are aware about it that they can go for the Uranus as well. But no, 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 that there is a twist in this draft phase because we're gonna see a Louis ban coming out from Divine Risen, maybe a respect towards the mid laner of Maaf, but a lot of heroes, a lot of metas are open right now. Even though we can say that the Phobius and Harith is open right now, so maybe they can go with that combo. But no, no, is the devil should be appearing into the match, and it is Basha pick coming out from the side of Maaf Esports. The terror is here. What do you think, Zivo? Will it be helping Maaf, or Divine Risen will be having some other magic into their side because Moba Raren is there?
Mhm. Well, Maaf, they just got Raren and his comfort pick right now. I mean, they would not want to give the Basha to Raren, of course, right? But then again, they're leaving the Florian open. A Basha against the Florian would work out pretty well. It does have its advantage and disadvantages out there. Plus, they ban out the CC, so they are quite lacking in the true damage dealers around the EXP laner, right? So definitely, I mean, as PG said, the Matilda, they could have gone for Matilda up as well, but they're just preventing Raren from just dominating the whole game.
Yup, yup, they're preventing that thing. But right now, Bing taking that Kimi into their side as well as the Badang into a flex pick because he can also manage to go for the roam as well as EXP is right now a big question for Maaf as well because they will be thinking that this Badang is coming out of the EXP or to the roam side. But before that, I was expecting something I told, and this is happening right now in the Maaf esports side because they will be opting that the Phobius Harith, the real Philippines combo, we can say MPLPHs pull up this combo, and only for this reason, Phobius was the most banned hero. He got the most banning because of this thing, because
Yes.
people were opting the Harith and Phobius. What do you think, Pitchy? Are we gonna see something like? Okay, I was expecting a 1-1 right now, but no, Granger will be there.
That is what I was talking about. I am surprised that Mark really put about the Harriet over a Granger. I still consider the Granger to be the number one hero, and Divine Regiment, they know how to go around with the Granger, and they will be capitalizing it for onto their hands. Now the question remains, what jungler they could pick against the Berkshire. There is a possibility that Robin can go for the Xborg. I feel like this could be an Xborg match, but at the same time, the EXP's laners are left. Team Maaf are expecting Divan Regime to get that barang onto the EXP. Maybe not though. I don't feel like this is an EXP barang.
Yep, yep. They must be thinking that this is going to the Rome, therefore they're banning that glue, as you said. But right now, a lot of only two bans are left from each side, and we can say that Team Maaf Esports is having a, passenger seat right now for them because they got the Phobias, they got the Harith as well. Baksha being there for the Rome or for the EXP, for the jungle. We are not sure about it yet. But look at that. You're talking about the Matilda. Matilda will be taken out. What is this going on? You're thinking that Badang should be in the Rome. You banned that glue. And then you thought that no, Badang can be in the EXP. So you banned that Matilda. It's like something played with the Maaf's mind right now. But before that, we can see the Fursa ban, a clear cut ban because they know that the mid laner is absent from the side of Maaf. just take it out from the ban list, Forza as well as the Louis. So right now, a great chance of Sicilian being opt from the side of Maaf, or we're gonna see a Xavier.
Oh, a Xavier, right? Aside from Farsa and Luoyi, they could opt for maybe a Zushin right now because she is still up out open. And I do think in this type of tanky composition where they rely on utility heroes, Zushin might just work out, for the
I
whole
mean, it's
lineup.
banned, Vivo.
Mm-hmm. But oh, okay, that's a Vixana coming in. So it does seem like Basha is on to the roam position for the side of Team Maaf with Soyu being in the jungle.
This is kind of, I can say, a good pick from the side of Maaf. That jungler, Suyu to be in, Bakshia to be in the room, but Vexana being there. I mean, Vexana is kind of a hero. We can say she can provide the stun, but she's not that much good for the mobility cause. I mean, if the flicker is out, or she will be going with a purify, maybe she will be going with the flicker for real. But right now, with the flicker, she just got one mobility, and she has to be, I mean, aware of Badang as well as Kimi, because we all know that Kimi's damage is lot right now. But look at that, CC got banned from the side of Maaf. The Hylos pick will be there from the Divine Rhythm, a full tanky lineup from both these sides. Only Suyu being there in the Maaf, contrasting a little bit of properties for Maaf Esports. But right now, Pitchy, a quick question to you before I go. I
Yep.
mean, I will let you take over. Who gonna win with this draft? What do you think?
Oh, hey, come on, man. It's Fredrin. After Florian, it's Fredrin for me. I cannot ignore that. And he is looking mighty fine as of now. Okay,
Yeah.
so I am going with the Divine Resume with that team composition. What about you, Zero?
I mean, I do like the draft of Team Divine Regime right now. Same with Maaf, but I'll have to agree with you, PG. It's Divine Regime all the way for me as well.
Yeah. And with this, we'll be heading into the land of dawn for the first set between Team Mafi Sports versus Team Divine Rhythm. It's a BO3 series, and we are here into the Mythic Showdown. Please, Zevo and Pitchy, our talents, our casters, take over the match.
Let's go into the land of dawn. First match of the day, Maaf versus Divine Regime. I am curious to know which team takes it away. If it's going to be a clean sweep or is it going to be a clean. So far into the round through, all the games have gone to the game number 3. There is a possibility that they can change it up, but oh, I really like how PD is actually helping the Sue to get it quite faster.
Yeah, with him, yeah, having one step ahead of the jungle, he can just cut down the jungling time, which helps you rotate faster, right? So it will give them quite a upper hand in the whole rotation system right now. But then again, I feel like Phoebus is gonna be having trouble against a Badang. Yes, Phoebus does counter out the Badang, but if he does get his teammates' help, then it would be quite hard over him as how we see Raren is down there in the EXP rather than rotating towards the goal lane because
Yep.
they kind of need to step Phobias down a bit before they can focus themselves to the Granger.
That's true, and surprising to see Duba onto the marksman though into the mid lane. That is definitely a death, punishment for the high loss trying to take away something. But Peekaboo and it missed 3 members, pops the flicker, tried to immobilize the immobilization getting missed on. He's on a chase, routing jumps in with the taunt, and there we go. Voodoo thus gets
Oh,
another. On to the other hand, okay, off camera kill. Duba thus wins without the Zaman force.
that was not even level 4 yet, but it was a 1 versus 1 situation right now. But right now, if we focus on the turtle, right, Voodoo would be getting the turtle for himself with the help of Senju and PD just doing their great job at, having zoning out Team Divine Regime right now. I feel like they kind of need to have their fun because their whole draft is not early game oriented. They have to play it safe and play it a little bit low key so that they get the farm up. Once they get their items, once they get their power spikes, then they can definitely go for more engages.
Definitely, and this EXP Lena matchup, this is what I am curious about. During the podcast, we did mention about Yo Mom to Romcom, and I think the pressure is up on his side. Yo Mom absolutely denying every single minion, not even one left onto the favor of Romcom. Really looking good, but the same goes in for a little bit on the safer side at the top. Now, Raren though, as you mentioned, Zevo, they are not with the early game composition, and yet they just fell down like a dominoes.
Oh my goodness. Hylos coming in, stuns Shenju away while Brendan gets taken down in the hands of Suyo. 1-for-1 trade, but still in the favor of Team Maaf right now. That was quite the engaged right inside their own turret, and Team Divine Regime, they're a bit helpless right now, but if they have enough patience, then I do believe they can turn over the events. But still, Mark does have the upper hand as of now.
Definitely, the power spike does lies towards the 8 minutes of the game for the side of Team Divine Regime, but okay, look at them.
If we do see the Zaman Force picked up, Romcom is onto the back line though, but they are being chased back inside their own turret. They do not want to take any team fight, especially when the turtle is about to be up. But it does seem like Team Divine Regime, they are not going for the turtle, rather they're going for a kill, which does help it out because they are quite low on the farm, right? So Duba is on the mark here right now, gets up the Purify baited out, and pretty much good of resources wasted, but still not enough to be on par with Maaf and their farm right now. But still, a 1 versus 1 coming in, Romcom in between the jungle, but still overall, no casualties.
Interestingly enough, that really did not yield anything so far. Now, I want to see how Divine Redme will be trying to take back the snowball they once lost. Now, Voodoo Child 2-0-1. I'm really liking it onto the early game. Never hesitates, is really hesitating as of now, given the fact that he is getting squishier. Those damage onto him is getting too much, but it's not their game as of now. Let's see during the mid to the late game if they do get some kind of table turning moments. But for the map as well, they have to make sure they hold the snowball, and if they give it out, it's going to be a problem. Romcom had missed a PD as well. PD taking in so much damage, pops the ultimate, slowing them down. There we go. High loss as a countermeasure, giving them the movement speed, but this is a trade into the hands of Maaf.
Yeah, Maaf is not slowing down at all. They are preserving the momentum that they get. Romcom is forced, but Peekaboo Predator does get taken out in the hands of Ixana. Right there, Romcom! Oh my goodness, in the hands of Suyo. Won't be escaping. He did try to escape in the bush, but Suyo, he had his keen eye. He just spotted them out. So overall, right now, the score is in the favor of Team Maaf with a 4K goal lead in their hands. And the map, they do not have a single turret loss in their name. So definitely they are giving more and more pressure onto the side of Team Divine Regime while they are being quite helpless. The only thing they can do right now is just sit back and farm up and just hopefully, wait for the boss spike of Ranger and Kimi and wait for Hylos to have his tankiness up a bit.
Yes, sir. Let's see. On to the other hand, Voodoo Child does have the upper hand to take this turtle away without the retribution. Now that they are moving towards the orange buff of Raren, he does get it though. He does have to spend his retribution just because there is your mom already trying to dictate the match. Look at that. He does get the wrath of appraisers, but the damage is really not coming in.
Overall, Fredrin does need some items for his Appraiser's Wrath to deal the damage, right? And he does need to have full stacks on it. So definitely, I feel like Raren is kind of coming low with it, but Peekaboo Predator gets caught up in between 4 people. Romcom is forced to flicker away, but then again, Hylos is there with his golden carpet up. Romcom will be getting taken down in the hands of Duba, followed up by Eerie Never Hesitates. He will be getting a double kill. Appraiser's Wrath there to help him get away, but no. Raren will be taken down. Brandon is the last one to stand. That is a triple in as of Duba. And a full team wipeout coming in before the 8-minute mark. Team.
That's true. What a game. Maaf
Yeah.
with an absolute domination. I really like how they are working it around, not giving any moment, no window out for Divine Regime to pick it up once again. Now they are definitely struggling with a 0-3-1 onto that Granger. They have to make sure to get something onto his hands, but they're not able to. But onto the other hand, Duba is really comfortable on the 406. He's really making sure to get every single possible thing. But onto the other hand, Peekaboo Predator looking quite low. 146 HP remaining. He moves back. Onto the other hand, turrets demolished. Nothing left to stand onto the side of Divine Regiment. Look at that. All the tier 2s and the tier 1s are gone, and that just leaves the inhibitor as of now. Now let's see though. Lord is there. You know it's Maaf who's going to take it away.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, with a 9.5k goal lead in the hands of Maaf, I think it's pretty much a walk in the park for them to take that Lord. Even if Divine Regime tries to go contest for the Lord, they won't be able to because the level difference is just too much for them to contest it right now. So definitely, I feel like they should be moving around all together starting as of now so that they can prevent any good team fight, just segregating and getting one or two of them down alone. So better off just being in a group so that you are able to like protect each other from the wrath of Herod as of now. Duba, who just picked up his holy crystal, so his damages will be hurting more and more.
I do agree with you, Zero, on that. Duba, look at him. He's able to get behind the EXP laner and give a comfortable damage onto them. Lodge moves in with a bang onto the mid inhibitor. Now, I want to see if their team Maaf will be able to complete the crystal or not. There's a high chance that they can, but taking down the inhibitors would be a very good option as of now. The fight coming in, Kimmy did give a very good setup, but Raren will be the first one to fall down along with the rom-com. They are not able to pick up the damage that they are giving, and the base open. Maaf with the first win.
10 minutes 10 minutes first game. That was quite a fast paced. I mean, Maaf just they had the upper hand starting from the early game. So definitely Divine Regime, they were not able to take any of the advantage from the 8-minute mark. But let's hear from our host. As if you're here with us, please do share, how did you feel about the first game?
It's like the Voodoo and Duba just played immensely best, we can say, because they didn't just won the match. Look at the score, Zevo, 15. And here it's the single digit and it's single number as well, won. This is how the dominance looks like, and they just didn't just won, they just rampaged on them. They just eat them raw by just showing their dominance. Mafi Sports, totally, I'm saluting their picks as well as their gameplay, because you know what, as Pichi mentioned, Xbox should have been there. They went for the Fedrin. It's okay, Raren's comfort pick, we can say. But Xbox was needed here. You know why? Because they thought that the Bakshia will be into the jungle. And that's the main reason they went for the Fedrin jungle. But then, out of the blue, it was the Suyu came up, and the Voodoo's child Suyu was totally best. Because if you have seen that in the early game, he was the one who was taking up the kills. And then the late game literally went to the Harith. And even when Pichi mentioned that in the off cam, Harith managed to take out that Granger without the Zaman force. This was the game number one, and it goes to Mafi Sports. Pichi, what do you say? I mean, Xbox would have been there, changing the game a little bit for Divine Rhythm.
Definitely. I wanted to see why the Harith was put up above the Granger. Team Maaf really did not look over the fact that the Granger was open, and this is the reason why. You just saw how much the damage potential was up from Duba, and I really, really liked it. But onto the other hand, I really like how they put Bakshia onto the roam, though. That is just a plus point as of now.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, he has the mobility. He can rotate anywhere he wants just because of the roller coaster ride. And that's the main reason people are opting Baksha to the EXP as well as to the Roam, because they know that rotation will be easy. They can join the team fight easily, and that's the main reason if you will see Duba getting the upper hand, just because the team is helping him. And in the early game, Suyu got the early snowball. He gave some gold to the team. So Duba managed to outplay the Granger, even though he doesn't have the Zaman force in the first. And the score was 3-0 at the first. And then it was at a time it was 12-1, and it's end with a 15-1. They managed to take down the innovators. They managed to take down the Crystal. And the win goes to Maaf. But right now, Divine Rhythm will be having their first pick in the second set of the BO3 series at Mythic Showdown, powered by IGC Indian Gaming Corps. If you guys are watching here, please do subscribe the channel and don't forget to like the stream and do comment. Let me know that what's your guess, because our casters already gave the prediction of 2-0 for no 2-1. Pichi gave a 2-1 prediction for Divine Rhythm, and Zevo gave a 2-0 prediction for Divine Rhythm. But right now I want to also know your prediction, that who gonna take the match and what will be the score. So let me know in the comment section and share the stream to your friends as well. But right now this things, if Pichi's prediction will be getting correct, then we need a reverse sweep from Divine Rhythm. And if nobody's prediction, I haven't done the prediction, so I'll not say right now Maaf. Otherwise, you guys gonna tell me that because Maaf winning, Ash is supporting Maaf. It's not like that, guys. But if Maaf gonna take on a clean sweep Zevo, they need to take on some real draft into their side. What do you think? What will coming up for them?
Ooh, well, Ash, I mean, the draft currently right now, I mean, the Maaf, they just had a complete snowball in the first game. So I feel like Divine Regime, they have to be careful to draft carefully, right? Have equal balance between the early game and the late game altogether, because the previous draft, it was more of a mid to late oriented, so they were not able to pick up anything from the early game. And Maaf, they just took the advantage of the whole draft against Divine Regime. So I feel like they have to focus a bit more on the draft as well, because it's 60% draft and 40% execution. So still majority lies in the draft.
Yep, and they took two heroes of Divine Rhythm and they played well. Romcom's Phobius as well as Raren's Baksha. I mean, they played it with the EXP and Rome, and they did it well. I mean, if you're gonna see, Romcom didn't got a chance against your mom. He was not giving him the minion. Pichi also mentioned that during the match. But right now, we can see that the Jukshin will again in the ban list add a Phobius ban. We're gonna see a Phobius ban from Divine Rhythm. But first pick was yours. Could have gone with Romcom's comfort. It's okay, your choice. I can't say anything. But Hylos being open, do you think Pichi CC will be in the ban list?
Little bit of a option, but since the phobias is out of the way, there is just a very less chance that we may be able to look at that. And yep, Ray, I'm seeing you in the chat as of now. Yep, you are looking at your wife getting banned. Unfortunately, you're just having a moment with her. Please give her back so we also have a moment in the game. Anyways, Kalia being open, being prioritized, but I'm surprised to know that Kimmy was not prioritized.
Yeah, Kimmy is yet open for each and everybody. But before that, right now, Kalea being picked up from the side of Defenders and will be helping them a lot to take out the backliners. Let's see if again Mafi Sports is trying to get that Harit pick onto the Duba side, or they will be going with the Kimmy goal, or maybe Kimmy in the mid. But I will suggest one thing here. Okay, now they will be going with the Kimmy mid and maybe Duba with the Kimmy. What do you think, Zibo?
Well, Kimi does look like she might go into the mid. I feel like a Kimi mid is much better than a Kimi in the gold lane as of now. Because if you do pick Kimi up in the gold and there is another mage, I feel like after that, those two are quite balanced out. But then if you opt for some other magic damage dealers, then it would be quite magic overload. So to keep the balance as good as possible, I feel like picking up a Kimi in the mid would be better, but oh, are we seeing it right now? It is that a
Yeah.
veil getting picked out? Okay,
Yes.
first time in the history, right? First time in the history of
Yeah.
Mythic Showdown.
Yeah. I mean, this is something insane from Divine Rhythm. They were going with the Veil. Veil. We haven't seen him a long time ago in the tournament scenario. But right now we're gonna see that from a mythic leaderboard team. That's cool. Oh no 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 no! It's kind of a little bit of, I mean, we can say issue, but it got resolved, and it's the Valentina. Okay, the copy ninja is here right now, the real copy ninja. But leaving out the Badang, taking up the glue, that's a big bait. I mean, Kalea being onto the front side, you could have gone with the Badang. It's a great counter of Kalea. Can easily counter the Kalea, but they went for the glue. That means they want to catch up the backliners more than prioritizing Kalea, but Bing there, Valentina against a Lucas, Pitchy, Divinism won the draft? Question mark.
As of now, it is good, but Valentina, somewhere along the lines, I really feel like I'm just saying this without looking at the match, but most of the Valentinas I have seen so far in the Mythic Showdown season one was almost the first pick coming in. You see a Lucas, you blindly pick up the Valentina. I This time around I want to see if this is the same case for Peekaboo Predator or not, but it will be answered for you guys. So let's just sit tight. But other than that, for the Granger Irithel getting banned up, the Moscow should be there. Maybe push the Kimi to the mid lane, pick up a Moscow, try to get a map control all over once again, like in the game number one.
I mean, guys, Pitch, if I will just convert it into a simple words, Pitchy just said that when you're seeing a ghost, you're just shitting in your pants, and whenever you're seeing a Lucas, you're just taking up a Valentina. It's not working always because, I mean, you're prioritizing only a single hero. Just like I thought that they will be going with the Badang, but Badang will not prioritize only Kalea. He can manage to give stun to other heroes as well. But right now, Badang is still open, but he will not be in the banning list. Xbog will might be there. Maybe they heard about the pitchy's direction about the Xbox pick for Divine Rhythm. They didn't went for that. They went for Fedrin, and we saw what happened. 15-1 was the score. But right now, CC again in the ban list, hoping for a high loss to be into the Maaf side, or maybe Divine Rhythm can come with it. But Irithel to the banning list. That means they are sure that this Kimmy is going for the mid. The answer is there, Zivo. What do you think? Who will be there for this Granger? I had it again.
For a Granger, I feel like Harriet or a Moscow would work out really well. If you pick up a Harriet, then I feel like with the glue and the Kimi all together, it would be magic a bit higher in the magic side. So Moscow, as PT said, it would work out really well. You get the lane control up as well. And with his pair of destruction, it's just he's gonna be rotating around the map quite a lot. But right
Boom.
now, though, a Beleric comes in, hopefully in the Rome position.
I mean, it's all. I mean, 15 more hours to go for the next season. I'm not in the epic, na. Are you sure? I'm not in the epic lobby right now. Bill being picked up first. Okay, it was the Valentina. It was a mistake. But then Belleric right now for whom? I mean, I don't see any attack speed hero from the side of Divine Rhythm. Bro, Obsidia is not yet released in ML. So why are you opting that Belleric for yourself? That's a kind of out of the blue pick from the side of Maaf Esports right now. But with this, we're gonna
Yo,
see the edit. Okay. I mean, what? They have those eyes, Saringan with them because they saw that Edith will be coming, Ishan Sin will be coming, and Xpeed will be coming. So they went for the Belleric. Pitchy, what do you think? This Belleric pick and then a Paramis. Okay. Something really cooking up from the side of Maaf. Pitchy, looking after the draft. What are your thoughts?
definitely cooking in for both the sides, not one. I'm really liking the Edith pick, trying to get a control over the team fights. In the last match, you have just seen how Maaf were already grouped up together, and Team Divine Regime had caught on it, and they have went in for something to match their own energy. But the problem is, YSS Shin will be needing time to farm up. His power spike is kind of similar to a Martis, but the Martis power spikes ends at minute 12. I mean, he is there in the match, but as a tanker for Shin, his power spike will be starting around that time. But let's see into the land of dawn. Here we go.
Yup, here we are into the land of Dawn. It's the Mythic Showdown Season 1, powered by Indian Gaming Corps. And right now, the second set is kicking off into the BO3 series between Team Maaf Esports versus Divine Rhythm. And I'm gonna see Raren's Assassin Jungler. Caster, let's take over the match.
Thank you, Ash, for being with us, and we'll see you right after this match.
Yep, certainly. But as of now, a Faramis, a Kimi, and a Belleric all together. Faramis was quite a surprise pick for me at least. But then again, picking up a Faramis when there's a Valentina, quite a risky move coming in from Team Ma, because Valentina not only has Lucas's ult that she can pick up, she can also go for the Faramis' ult right now. So it gives her two choices. So it would be quite good, but oh my goodness, a lot of invade coming in. First blood already in the hands, and Raren just got denied of his orange buff right now. Maaf, they are being a lot aggressive, like the last game, but oh my goodness, Lucas with his beast form, Raren just escapes with that slither of HP. Right off the bat, he is denied his level 4 up as well.
Yo, this is bonkers as of now. Muff going in for that early game. Wasn't expecting it such early. It's not even 2 minutes into the game, and you know your damage is decreased in your enemy jungle area, and yet they were able to get a kill out of it. They were able to take every single HP out of. Okay, look at that tidal slam coming in from this area, just waiting it out. Not level 4. It could be really far away for them, like they cannot make a rotation towards the top while the mage and the exp would be getting level 4. This kind of a strategy is really denied for them, but at the same time Rar and there's a spit onto him. He's looking quite low, your mom, but this distraction was just enough for them to take it away. But okay, wait a minute, Dubatas comes in with a very good setup, but taunt is there onto Romcom, and that is a death for him. I never hesitates. I think he should have hesitated to go in, given the fact that Shenzhou will be having the Netherrealm, saving up the teammates, and again snowball into the hands of Maaf.
Oh my goodness, Maaf. The amount of aggressiveness they have been showing right now. That was a full 5-man invade coming in to Raren and his jungle. They were not shy to use up all their resources to have them, choke down already starting from the early phases of the game. And Raren, being an assassin right now, he can't really do anything unless he gets his farm up, but then he's getting denied the farm over and over again. Same with Kalea as well. She needs her items to start being tanky, but then again, they have Edith, which is not a good frontliner once again. So I feel like they'll be struggling in the early phases of the game once again.
A little bit struggle will be there for them sides. I feel like they should go in for a little bit of a mid game to the late game. But again, I feel like Divine Regiment, this is really going as a side slope, given the fact that Muff really loves that early game of the Tsunami Slam being missed out. All the members out of that area is just proving that it is on cooldown. They can engage. Your mom, though, he made a split. He is making sure he takes taking in the minions right before Romcom. Trying to deny farm more for Raren is just a way to stop Divine Regime.
Definitely. I mean, you have to choke down the jungler and the Roma, and I think you would be able to pretty much choke down the main powerhouses of the whole game, for the whole team, right? But as of now, Maaf, they're just having the time of their life, going around freely, invading jungles if they want, taking the turtles, because they know Divine Regime won't be contesting for the turtle anytime soon, because the level is just too low. The gold difference is just getting more and more onto their side. 3.1 goal lead in their hands as of now. So Divine Regime, they got the lower tier turret on the bottom lane as well in the first 3 minutes of the match. So it gives up more pressure onto the side of Team Divine Regime, because they have to watch their lanes right now. It's gonna be an easy access for Maaf if they do give out the mid lane turret. So they have to be, more and more careful. But with all of the invasions coming in, Team Divine Regime, they are just helpless, despite having a Valentina, despite having a Kalea onto their side.
I do agree with you. For the Kalia, they really picked it out a kind of a hero into the mid lane that they could be reliant on to the uh, team more than the own tank can do the setup. But as of now, again into once more into Raren's purple buff, he did get it on, which is a good sign for him. But the engages, you're talking about how the invades are coming in a time by time. But on to the other hand, Brendan, this time around, he's playing it quite safe. The same goes for Divine, the whole Divine Rhythm. Look at that into the middle lane. Romcom thus makes a primal rat play, but no, he was looking quite low. 50% is HP left. Voodoo Child Johnson, your mom will be the first one to fall down, but double kill picked up by the Lucas. He's not stopping down. He's taking too much turret damage, and Brendan at the right moment. You're talking about how he wants the crown, and this is just going in with the Sky PSL, so definitely a good boost.
Overextension from the side of Maaf. They underestimated Divine Regime a bit compared to the early game. They do have a little bit of items, so definitely they could have put up a little bit more fight compared to how they were first. So with the Lucas gone, they could contest for the turtle right now, but Duba takes out, never hesitates. Brendan takes the turtle in his hands. That is a double kill for Duba right there. Valentina gets taken down, but a triple picked up by Kimi Raren. Contemplating if he should go or not, but oh my goodness, right at the moment, Voodoo Child is there with the beast form trying to go for Raren, but then again, he is far too inside his own turret, so he has to step down as of now. There was a little bit of a moment where Divine Regime could have picked up the lead, but then again, I feel like they lost it in Hands of Maaf.
Once again, they got the Brendan, the items that he needs as for the early game that we are talking about as we are transcending towards the mid game. But Brendan alone cannot do anything. They have to wait for Raiden to get his power spike as well. As of now, can we look at the itemization so we can know what kind of a gold lead are they having between those opponents and players? Okay, talking about Lucas as well as YSS, it's going to be a very hard game for YSS, in my opinion. He Lucas is on a different plane as of now, but Duba getting farmed up quite easily. Look at him, 6,000 as of now. He's the highest, and that's just almost a half for the Valentina. So Valentina can come up with a IMU, but in this situation, the Belarix ultimate could be a very good thing.
Yeah, taking Belaric's ult is, I think, the best decision that she can make right now, because it would give them a little bit of a setup. But as we speak, we do see a did you know Vixana curses her enemies and summons undead minions. She does. She does. She is a queen of curses. But right now, Raren just got cursed by Voodoo Child. He just got taken down in a 1 versus 1. And with the farm difference in their hands, Raren has to fall down. Peachy, do you think that Wise's pick by Raren was a good choice here?
Uh, on theory, yes, it is a good pick, but as of now, how they are executing it with a YSS in the team, it's just not working out for them. So for this game, it's definitely a no. They have to wait it out more, trying to drag it down to the late game. But Maaf are not here for the late game. They will be not letting Brendan. They will be not letting Raren to get farmed. But on to the other hand, okay, wait a minute, Purify baited out. I mean, he had to make that Purify, or he's not surviving. Tsunami Slam is there, but onto the wrong, proper. I am you with the Wrath of Triad, and yet again Duba with the monster kill. His damage while being in such a comfortable position, he is just taking it away one by one. They are looking all low, so they will be backing off, which is a good sign, but they will be a little bit late to the party, so this is going to be a successful defense.
Yep, a successful defense for the side of Team Divine Regime right now. But then again, I would like to focus on Duba with that Kimi. Last time it was picked up by Peekaboo Predator, and that Kimi did not do well. This time though, Duba is showing Peekaboo how a Kimi should be used, and she's on the goal lane that might have made a bit of a difference. But as of now, Kalea going for the Tsunami Slam onto Belleric this time. He will be getting taken down though. PD, that was not a good position to be in. Maaf does lose one of their members as of now, but still, I don't think they need to be afraid of anything since there is no timer for Lord, which is near them, and pretty much their whole map is still in their hands. So Divine Regime, they have to think of something quickly. But then again, if they go all together, they have Faramis, they have Glue, they have Kimi for a little bit of set, and to finish it all, they have a Lucas. So it's just I'm not sure how it is gonna be working out unless you pick up the Kimi alone, but then again, she has a Purify. So it's kind of a give and take situation for the side of Team Divine Regime.
Kimmy is playing too safe. It's really,
Mm-hmm.
really hard to reach towards Kimmy as of now. And if they have to do it, they have to tear down the frontliners, which consists of Shenzu, Yomon, and Piri. Piri quite tanky enough. He's not the one who's tanking, but it all goes into the hands of Yomon as well as the Netherrealm, which is saving it up. This is like an extra lifeline for them, which is much more needed. Even if they picked up something else onto the middle lane, such as a crowd control, could be an Aurora, it would have worked very well. But no, they wanted to make sure that their members will be alive and safe no matter what. I really like how they have put all the responsibility of the damage towards Voodoo as well as Duba, and Duba is
Mm-hmm.
actually delivering.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're certainly delivering what they were put up for as of now. But then again, the Granger, right? Brandon on Granger, I feel like he's been playing it out safe again. He has not been caught up once from the side of Maaf. So if he does get the farm that he's needed, and since it's already the 12-minute mark, I feel like if they do defend this Lord somehow, Brendan, there might be a chance for Team Divine Regime to have a comeback, but then again, with them lacking a good setter because Romcom and Kalea, they're just not someone who has a solid crowd control like Belleric, as we're seeing AOE or anything with a ton, which could help with the setup. So definitely, I feel like they have to be a bit more careful. Valentina, she could use Farm's ult, definitely
Yep.
to give them the second life. They certainly need it right now because a lot of damage is being delivered from the side of Maaf, and they need something to sustain all those damage, give them second life, perhaps. But Farmis is just too far away from the reach of Valentina. So it's just I feel like Valentina is being a little bit useless here.
This is what I was talking about. It really looks like a force pick in this situation. And as you mentioned,
Mhm.
Valentina did manage to pick up a nether realm, which is a good sign. But as of now, Brendan cannot melt any frontliners. We are going into tanky. The Lord coming in, 10,000 HP left. They're trying to take it down as much as possible. But the inhibitors are not gonna stand strong. Mid lane inhibitor taken down. Okay, almost there. But oh, PD comes in, taking in too much direct damage. Voodoo Child jumps in with a Unleash the Beast, tries to get it. Ronco would be the first. Roarin looking quite low. The base is quite open. They are trying to target it down. Double kill picked up by Duba. Voodoo Child. So much damage goes
Oh,
down. The minions still remaining, and Duba picks it up in a clean sweep.
2-0 clean sweep from the side of Team Math.
Yo,
That
our predictions are wrong.
we got completely obliterated. But Ash, we would be glad to have you back here.
Mindset, Zivo mindset is something which just changed everything for yourself. I mean, this was the mindset from Mafi Sports. They didn't just started the match; they were so showing their aggression, as you said, as Pichi said. And did you saw that? I mean, no, nobody's there for the early game. It's only Rarin being there.
Mhm.
So they just picked it up that they will be going for the invasion. Balearic got the invasion capacity very well, and I'm just awestruck because I never saw a Balearic in tournaments, and that too against no attack speed heroes. And they literally manage it very well. And this guy Duva, I never saw a single match of Maaf esports yet in Mythic Showdown. It was my first match, and literally Duva made me his fan today. This guy is totally insane. First match Harith, second match Kimmy, 2 MVP into his side, a 2-0 clean sweep. What do you need, bro? You just go and have your dinner and just sleep right now. What a game from Maaf Sport. They didn't just, I mean, again, I will say the same dialogue. They didn't just won, they just rampaged upon the whole Divine Rhythm pitchy. Rarins going for the Ishan Shin. We've already asked you. Again, I'm going to ask you. Worth it?
Definitely not. Definitely not. From the first match, you have seen how Team Divine Regime went in. Sorry, the Team Maaf went in for that early game snowball, making sure that they won't allow the junglers to farm. Right after minute, they were there in Raren's jungle. No matter it was the minute 1:30 or it would be 7 minutes 40 seconds, they were there, which is the reason why YSS did not work. They were really hoping to take the game to the late game, but Duba really farmed up.
Yeah, and with this, guys, the first game is already over. It was a 2-0 from the side of Team Mafi Sports against Divine Racing. But right now, you guys have to wait for 38 minutes more because at 9 o'clock, sharp 9 o'clock, we'll be having our second match of tonight. That between two of the biggest team of India. Whenever we see them in the rank games, we just put that surrender button up for ourselves. Yes, guys. One from Delhi and one from Mumbai. Daaku Sena versus Team LCF. Lakshmi Chitfund versus Daaku Sena. It will be coming up soon at 9 o'clock. So be there, guys. Don't go anywhere. In this 38 minutes, you can have your chips and you can have your fun. But before 9, I want you all to join up with us to watch the legendary battle between Team Daaku Sena versus Team LCF, a BO3 series, a Swiss stage, day number 4 at IGC, Indian Gaming Corps. Obviously, it's Mythic Showdown Season 1. And with this, me, STZ, with Pichi and Zibo will be signing off right now. But, I mean, our talents will be there at 9. So, you guys, hope you'll be enjoying it at the 9. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching, guys. Love you all.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा, फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे अंदर जाएंगे पॉप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे अंदर जाएंगे पॉप दादा कर देने वाला है थोड़ा सा, फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉपअप
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I am the bearer of a bad news today, but before that, Mikey, hello, welcome to the stream.
Thanks for the introduction, but unfortunately, we won't get to have the upcoming match because there is a news of forfeiting, and I guess Itami will be the one to bear the news. So, Itami.
Okay. Apparently, Daaku Sena have decided to forfeit the match, like forfeit from the tournament actually. So they won't be competing anymore. Instead, LCF will be getting the point, and instead of Daaku Sena, I guess there will be a different team which will be announced later on. So for today, that will be it for the matches. We will be coming back tomorrow with more matches. So that will be the announcement. There will be no matches for the day. PG.
And also don't forget 7:30 every day. You still guys have a chance for the giveaway. Hashtag Mythic Showdown, Mythic M being capital, Showdown S being capital. The D is not capital, guys. So make sure you don't make any typo. Three winners every single stream will be announced after the tournament. So you still have a chance right now. Few minutes left. Do type in your hashtag Mythic Showdown. And with this was the match number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be taking a break for today. Tomorrow, coming in with a bang.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा कर देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉपअप दिक्कत देने वाला है थोड़ा सा। फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉप दादा कर देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप